Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? So Dennis Allen was a guest on the NFL Network, and we did talk about this a smidge on Tuesday, and we talked about because they released a clip early about him talking about draft strategies. If you want to catch that, you can catch it from Tuesday's show. And honestly, I thought it was let's play it again just for those that missed it. Could you play it? It's number 3. Here it is. Dennis Allen talking about how they adjust their draft strategy with Kubiak coming in.
We're in the process of having our February draft meetings with the scouts, with Jeff Ireland, Mickey Loomis, myself. We're in there talking through these guys, and we had a chance to get the offensive coaching staff in here over the weekend and really sit down with the scouts and with the people in the draft room and kind of go through, look, this is what we're looking for at the quarterback position. This is what we're looking for in an offensive tackle. This is what we're looking for at the receiver position. So I think that's been great for our group. And I think we'll have to continue to have those discussions as we go throughout, this draft process, and really not just the draft process, but free agency also.
There was more to that, and The actual cut that where he talked about it was he talked about when he got here and replaced Rob Ryan, and how he and Sean Payton sort of had to define what they were going to be defensively. And then they took it from there in the draft and the free agent process. He said they're basically doing the same thing right now with Klint Kubiak. And that's what he's talking about with the coaches and the scouts. And it's defining what they're going to be offensively. So that, I think, is so important. And I'll praise Dennis Allen for that, because that worked when he was hired as defensive coordinator. It makes a lot of sense. Instead of saying, hey, Clint, come in and work with the scrap metal we have here, it's saying, what do you want to build? And then let's go get you the tools to build what you want to build. And I like that approach much more. Here was Dennis Allen on Klint Kubiak and the offensive staff.
I feel like this is the best scheme that gives your players the best chance to have success that's going in the National Football League right now. And I think Clint is highly intelligent. He's extremely hard worker. I think we've put together an outstanding staff with a little bit of mixture of some older veteran coaches that have been there, done that, with some younger, progressive mindset type of guys. And I think it's going to be a great mixture for our organization.
The most important part of it, though, is how it's going to impact Derek Carr. Because, and this is the thing that I feel like every time we have a conversation about the Saints, Kubiak, Allen, whatever it may be, it's all got to start with how do you maximize Derek Carr. And I know we've talked about this, but I got to keep reiterating, because that has to be the launch point of all these conversations. Because whether I like it or you like it, if you think Derek Carr is the guy, is irrelevant. It's all irrelevant what we think. Because the Saints are committing to Derek Carr, especially if they're going to restructure his contract. They're committing even longer term to Derek Carr as their guy. Well, okay. I don't have to like it, but I don't get a say. Mickey Loomis ain't calling me online too. Scone, what do you think we should do with DC? Get rid of it. But I ain't get that opportunity. I just get to scream about it in this microphone every day. But if the Saints are moving forward with Derek Carr, then it's okay. How do you maximize him? Well, you got to fix your offensive line. You got to get production out of the running back spot. If Michael Thomas is gone, you got to give him more weapons to throw to. How do you build around him? So, yes, part of that also is when you hired this offensive coordinator, is the system this coordinator wants to run conducive to what Derek Carr can or will do? And you think about, who Klint Kubiak has worked with, the quarterbacks that he has worked with, and if you think about working with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, or Jared Goff, or Matthew Stafford in L.A., it makes some sense how they're trying to build this thing out. You could say, all right, yeah, Derek Carr's kind of from the same school as Matthew Stafford, but the same point in their careers, similar guys in college who'd slung it around, who's thrown the ball a bunch, not necessarily guys that are going to beat you with their legs, but have some mobility and some athleticism to them. So, it's interesting to see how Derek Carr will adjust to this, which second year in New Orleans, now he's going to have another offense to learn.
Well, look, I think Derek's going to do exceptionally well. You know, it's interesting because I've had communication with Derek throughout this process, you know, and talked to him about some of the different candidates that, you know, we were bringing in. And his brother David had played for Gary in Houston. I was a little bit concerned that maybe that wouldn't go over that great. And David had some really good things to say, you know, about the offensive scheme and about how he, you know, really appreciated the scheme and the things that they were doing and really enjoyed playing for Gary and felt like if there's some similarities, which I think there's a ton between Gary and Klint, that it was going to be a great fit. And so I'm really kind of excited about that.
Obviously, adding John Benton as well. You've got a lot of ties there. You hired a receivers coach that was at Fresno State with Derek Carr. There's so much synergy with what they're doing that I may not like. It's like if you're building a house, like I may not like the floor plan. I may not like the design of your house. You know, maybe you're building a super modern house, a big square box on a hill. I may not like that. But if that's what you're committed to doing, then damn it, do it the best way you can. And that's what it feels like they're trying to do. Now, we'll see if this works, if it's sustainable, if it will beget success next season and beyond. But what was evident is that what they were doing offensively, no matter what they said, and we heard Derek Carr and Dennis Allen, all of them say how they finished the season strong in those final 4 weeks, and how they were the best red zone offense in the NFL in the last month. And yet, if all that were true, and you actually believed you were making progress, then why did you fire the whole offensive staff? Actions speak louder than words. That was an outlier, and you realize who you did it against, and we all said it, and you know it, and I know it, and they know it as well. It's why they blew out the entire staff. And it's also Dennis Allen looking, going, this is my last shot. If I miss the playoffs 3 years in a row and this franchise goes 4 years without making the playoffs, I'm done. So you want to keep doing the thing you're doing that ain't working? Or do you want to try to replicate the thing that is working around the NFL? That's what Dennis Allen said the most when he talked. Can you play the beginning of the number one again? Listen to the beginning of this cut of Dennis Allen talking about Kubiak.
I feel like this is the best scheme that gives your players the best chance to have success. That's going.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Finish it.
Going in the National Football
League
right now.
This is the best scheme that gives your players the best chance to have success that's going on in the NFL right now. That's the whole bite. He's telling you, like, I got to save my job. We hadn't made the playoffs in 3 years. I hadn't made the playoffs in 2 years. We had a super winnable division last year, didn't make it. We brought in Derek Carr, who I wanted to bring in, and it didn't work. So this is the offense that's having the most success in the NFL. Let's bring it here. Okay? I'm for it. But remember, if this doesn't work, you've got no more excuses. Like you've pointed the finger in all these different places, and eventually you run out of other people to point the finger at, and it comes back to you. So I'm not optimistic. I am hopeful. There's a big difference. Optimism means that I believe it's going to go well. I am not optimistic because I know who the head coach is, and I know who the quarterback is, and I don't think either of them are great. I am hopeful, however, that with the right OC pulling the strings and the right offensive system and the right talent around him, complemented by a really good defense, that this can work. I'm hopeful. Not optimistic. Got 10 years of Derek Carr as an NFL quarterback. That tells me I shouldn't be optimistic, but I can be hopeful. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.